Swirl of Words, Swirl of Worlds is a multi-platform, multimedia arts programme celebrating Hackney's ethnic diversity and exploring how language shapes and informs cultural and individual identities. The project has three main strands: a poetry publication consisting of over 100 poems, one to represent each language spoken in Hackney. The poems appear in their original language and their English translation. 3,000 copies of this book are being given away to Hackney Library members for free, and there are some available here today if you would like to take one away with you. There's also a multimedia group exhibition at both PEER and Shoreditch Library, exploring themes of cultural identity, endangered and lost languages, modern communication, literary history and poetry. And there's a 10-week programme of live and virtual events, most of which are being recorded and made available online. This event is being live streamed via YouTube, and a recording will be made available later. This evening, we will hear from Mikey Kirkpatrick, an acclaimed singer, flautist, composer, performer, and director of Alchemy, who, in response to the Swirl of Words poetry book, has created a number of flute improvisations inspired by the poems. Throughout the evening, Mikey, together with Stephen Watts, will intersperse the reading of poems with musical improvisations. During the evening, there will also be readings from two Hackney-based poets. Abdul Azir Nazir is both a poet and a painter, and through both activities, he addresses issues of history, creativity, and internationalism. And Noel Grassy McKen, who is a poet, playwright, performer, and painter who's lived in Hackney for many years. There will also be a performance from Kurdish singer Nawroz Oramari, who was forced to flee Iraq after facing persecution for singing in his own language. The event also coincides with the presentation of Mary Lemley's ongoing archival project, My Life in Hackney, Part 2, which you can see behind me. The text sound installation comprises of recordings recently made from inside Lemley's flat located in the York Row estate. Artist and writer Lemley moved to Hackney from New York in the early 1990s, and Part 1 of My Life in Hackney began in 2001 and was exhibited at Lord Yard Gallery in 2006 and at Kettle's Yard, Cambridge in 2009. Hope you enjoy your evening. First of all, I'm going to invite Stephen and Nawroz up and Mikey. Thank you.
Maybe it's just worth saying the first poem is in Arabic, and it'll be followed after an improvisation by a short poem in Kurmanji, Kurdish Kurmanji.
Thanks, Stephen. So, shall I use this microphone? Okay. Okay. هلال رققت ألمك صبيا على الحدود، وضعته كفلس تحت عجلات القطارات، وتقلدته في الحقول فتاة أحببتها. علمك المهربون كيف تضربه رويدا رويدا في الليل بمطارق اللصوص، وتخفي بصماتك عنه أمام الآخرين. بالصمت رققته بالمشي الطويل حتى شفى وقسى كظفر مقصوص توارى في بساط الزمن. وحين عثرت عليه كان قمرا أنحله الحب. علقته إلى سماء روحك وسهرت وحدك منتظرا آذان العيد.
This poem is by Jolan Haji, who's a Syrian poet of Kurdish background, presently living in Paris. Crescent. You thinned your pain. As a boy on the frontier, you placed it like a small coin under the wheels of a train, and a girl you loved made a necklace from it in the fields. Smugglers taught you how to strike it in the quiet of the night with the hammers of thieves, to conceal your finger marks in front of others. You thinned it with silence, with long walks, until it became transparent and hard, like a cut nail gone in the carpet of time. And when you found it, it had become a moon eaten away by love, and you hung it in the sky of your soul and stayed awake, all alone, waiting for the Atan of Eid. Thank you.
Daikamine Dabe Daikamine Dabe Chachbe 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 Warahandiman Daikamine Dabe Mara 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 Dur Chiai Tijin Gur Ters Katia Dilema Lichiain Ma Bettersen Lichiain Ma Bettersen.
Thank you. This short poem is by Bejan Mato, and it's written in Kamanji Kurdish and translated by Aydin Mehmet Ali. Come back. My mother says, come back, come back, come back beside me. My mother says, don't go, don't go, don't go to faraway lands. Wolf packs are prowling on those far-off mountains. Fear swirls in our hearts, but our mountains are without fear. Are you going to sing now? No, no. Are you going to sing? No. Okay. Okay. So thank you very much. And now, I wanted to. I misheard myself saying Lewis Grassic Gibbon, but it's Noel Grassi Machen, a different writer.
Thank you very much. And thank Stephen and thank PEER Gallery for putting together such a fantastic book. I've given it to a few libraries already and they're very, very pleased to have such a volume. It's fantastic, a beautiful anthology, well done. Alicia staggers through Londinium, staggering back and forth, 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 through time into Londinium, a city of migrants. Alicia is everywhere. In Hogarth's Harlot's Progress, Dickens' Little Dorrit, Shaw's Pygmalion, Hitchcock's Frenzy. White Lady of the Night rides Pegasusa roughshod through the wormhole where forever lasts a second, and a second, an eternity. Alicia, Dark Madonna, Lady of the Night by the flourishing theatres in Drury Lane, the 7 seductive dials and Covent Garden. Alicia, in the taverns, coffee houses, gambling houses, drinking dens and brothels. Alicia, semi-naked in the great square of Venus, with flash molishers, spells, balls and scores of Covent Garden nuns. Bombay Betty Curtis riding in a sedan chair with Captain Mad Jack Montague riding on top, and little Sissy Casey running in front with a coloured fluorescent flag. The entire city screaming out, eat me, drink me, 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 eat me. The great devouring mammon megatropolis, the seductive city of vice, with a ferocious, insatiable, ravenous hunger, the city of ravaging plagues and great fires, climatic frenzies and burning thirst. Imperial measure, power and treasure, a veritable feast of fish and flesh. The great golden goose lays the golden egg. The fat boy Jack Horner with beady eyes still sits waiting on Sweeney Todd Pie Corner. City of lust, capital of capitalism, boom and bust, boom and bust, boom and bust. South Sea bubble burst, tulip bubble burst, Mississippi bubble burst. As Swift said, a savage city by shipwrecks fed. Alicia, time traveller, Shape-shifting Lady Alicia screams to the darkest night, who in the world am I? The merry wives of Billingsgate reply, Breege, Boadicea, Silenusa, Maynard of Bacchus, scarred woman of Gin Lane, in Ter O Ram. Gin, oblivion for the poor in the rookeries of St. Giles. Alicia, sweet child of the Jago, child of King's Cross, beneath thy weary feet the fleet does flow. Alicia, staggering down dingy lanes by Warren Street, Euston, St. Pancras, Camden Town, along dark canals beneath railway arches amidst gasworks, factories, fever hospitals and workhouses. City of the lonely, child of the dilly, I feel nothing but isolation, alienation, desperation, eros. Protect me. Mother Needham, whoremongers and balds, strumpets and striped garments in Cock Lane. Alicia staggers out beyond the walls, past the Elephant and Castle, past New Cross, past the flagpole of Bedford and down, and out in the Spike in Peckham. Alicia, tightrope walker in Smithfield, Bartholomew Fair, Southwark Fair, in Bednall Green, Stepney and Shadwell, the multiple child brides and dead babies. In the stench of the tides. By Potter, Noster Row, the stink of the stock market, pillaging and destroying. Alicia, Londinium devours all, native and foreigner without prejudice. Londinium, place of great excitement, festivity and art. Turner, Blake, Marlowe, Shakespeare, Johnson, Goldsmith, Sheridan, the greatest theatre in the world. Dead drunk, staggering Alicia, escapism is thy weapon in war against poverty, that great abyss of humanity, insanity that constantly howls out for more, as a mammoth is dug up in King's Cross. London, a place of execution and oppression, severed heads and severed hands. Pirates haunt the hanging docks of Wapping, off with their heads! Shouts the Queen of Hearts. I grow tall, I grow small, I grow tall, I grow small, I grow tall, and I grow small. Alicia, have a cup of tea there. Have a cup of tea there, have a cup of tea. Tyburn tea. And Newgate. Porridge. The four stages of cruelty. Mad Medusa's watchers watch out for foreigners on the city wall tonight. The secrets of the streets and the phantoms that patrol them. Black Orpheus in search of Eurydice. Little Joy Grimaldi runs from Sadler's Wells and to Drury Lane, followed by a host of screaming street urchins. Van Gogh strolled these streets. Marx, Dostoevsky, Casanova in the Star Tavern, Machiavelli, Dante's Inferno, Beatrice, Alicia, a foreigner, an alien, unwanted. On love. She is Moya Hackabad, flower girl, drunk for a penny, dead drunk for two. The outcast, the ostracized, the outsider, the other. Dire desperation, dislocation, desolation. Crack, coke fiend with fury rain. Mad horse powder thunders through thy veins. Eurydice, crying out for Charon. Beatrice is stuck in the labyrinthine world of the inferno. Dante's dark demons, pockmarked bodies in junkland lay their weary heads. Hallucinated cataclysmic city dragons, gargoyles and gorgons fly high, chased by murderous imperial statues on horseback as the knights die. Mullock monsters masturbate. Alicia Bacusa dances in the portals of Londinium. Alicia among the beggars, prostitutes, downtrodden, the poor. Refugees, strangers, wanderers, and orphans. The nocturnalization of Turneresque apocalyptic skies. The Zong, slaves dying out at sea. RAC, Royal African Company. Jeffrey. James II, city traders monopolizing slavery. Some ambulanced night walkers. Headless cadavers, insectile, febrile, sterile megatropolis. Mammon is envious, gluttonous, lecherous. I want generation. The era of me. My greed in incorporated, indoctrinated, inseminated. Great Nemesis, thou witness many kings and queens, buccaneers and privateers, banksters, merchants, pranksters, speculators, actors, soldiers, and whores. It takes all the running you do to stay in the same place. Alicia speaks in French, Saxon, Italian, Vietnamese, Creole, Gujarati, Gaelic when she can't think the English. Les enfants terribles. Alicia, human merchandise in the city of night. A thick miasma of vice, hunger, corruption, lust, ecstasy, fantasy, distress, desire, despair, the theatre of the tragicomedy. Great dark Nemesis flow softly. So flow softly. Alicia, sweet Alicia, sweet Alicia, sweet Alicia. Dark Nemesis flow, great river flow, great river flow. Alicia, 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 Alicia. Alicia wakes in Hackney Wick after drifting down the Lee, drifting in the rivers of time. River Lee, red skies at morn, turner-esque skies over marshes at dawn. Alicia, daughter of Hackney and Tower Hamlets. Alicia, time traveller, dreams are the only thing that makes sense. Alicia, daughter of Morpheosa, the great sloth awakes. Butterfly flutters across the marshes. A spider releases a fly. In the Book of Londinium, dreams are the only thing that makes sense. Druidic London stone, the Bronze Age, Celtic settlements, Roman stone causeway, King Alfred's stranded Vikings, Haka's island in the marshes, ley lines, sacred trees, Bridget's holy wells, time travellers and the ghosts, 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 the ghosts of time drifting down the river Lee. The Lee marks boundary between the Saxon kingdoms of Essex and Middlesex, Hackney's gleaming palaces, harems, hunting grounds, kings, courtiers, and aristocrats. Samuel Pepys, the Mermaid Tavern, Hackney Central, boasting a bowling green, exotic pleasure gardens, and freak shows, freak shows, freak shows, freak shows, freak shows. The River Lee, excellent for transportation, navigation, water supply, fishing, flood control, power for mills and pleasure boating, parties, barges and orgies, wealth, women, ale, ice cream, oranges and shuffleboard, Garden of Eden, retiring to Hackney, a bourgeois paradis, festooned with coffee houses, assembly rooms and taverns, home of the middle class elite, East India Company directors, banksters, Lord Mayors, horse racing, cattle droving, doggy paddling, pig swinging at the cot and mutton, laid outside, submerged in urine and heated by decaying cow dung, white, yellow and red, a new watermill, Prince Rupert, an improved method of boring guns, 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 boring guns down on us. You hear the ghostly suffering souls, suppressed by suffocating church bells, the bells of Bow and St. Clement's. Destitute vagrants walk these streets, few houses on the haunted marshes, the ragged bone man, the gypsies, the circus, the hurdy-gurdy man, the dream world of River Lee, water memory, knees up, sing songs at midnight with a lather and some glasses. You can see the Hackney marshes. If it wasn't for the penthouses in between. Alicia swimming naked in the Lee, river of lost memories, river of forgetfulness, eons of forgetfulness in the urban acidic night sky, overcrowding poverty in the good old days, the old Victorian lies, a forest of fridges fly by, followed by a procession of dancing clowns. Alicia travelling in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out of time. Alicia's multiple lives all exhaled in one massive and a snowing cherry blossom tonight by the polluted river of paradise. Crack, heroin, morphine, Shapeshifter night, characters change, voices change, faces change, language changes. Body, language altered. Come, winged Marfiosa, daughter of India, daughter of China, daughter of the windrush, daughter of hallucinations. Alicia sleeps in marshes full of poppies. Midnight mechanical monkeys swinging from the gaslights. The pub, the metamorphosis of all possibilities. The centre of all our psychic energy and liberty. Libido, 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 libido. Sailing towards Elysium as the golden sun does rise. Behind the White House pub, making love to Dick Turpin beneath old oak tree. The river, the metamorphosis of all possibilities. Olympic imposition, displacement, gentrification. Ghosts of the fragmentation of the urban sprawl, fragmentation of dreams, fomenting dreams of freedom, masked Red Death Poe, deviations in Church Street, digressions, somnambulations, purple rain running down the pane of tower block. Alicia, hallucinatory, night rider in the wings of Peggy Morphiosa. All the river spirits rise, all the rivers flowing towards the great Thamesis. Alicia of the marshes and of the River Lee. Alicia worked in the gasworks and factories of Fish Island, Smead, Dace, Monier, Bream, Roche Road, all well walked by Alicia's weary feet. Alicia crosses Lee at Old Fork Road, Marsh Road. Alicia continues up Homerton High Street to the marshes and hence to Temple Mills, small arms manufacturers, gunpowder mills and furniture making, plastic inventors and red-dyed poison in the tide. The face and fabric of Hackney, factories and terrace houses. Odd man out in Homerton, gaswork explodes. World War II rubble dumped on the marshes. Goldfinger post-war conurbation. Brutalist architecture. Towers in the sky. Meantime, Mikey, Ken Loach, riffraff, Hackney. Hackney transformed beyond recognition. Hackney dogged by crime, dereliction and vandalism. The A12 forced through Hackney. Hackney Marsh, largest areas of common land in Greater London, filter beds, Alicia of the marshes, the haunted wastelands, the badlands, the marshlands, dreams and nightmares, dreams and nightmares, dreams and nightmares on the edge. National Projectile Factory, McGrath's Skipyard, Squatted, Eton Mission, Kingsmead Estate and Bullock Boy, Clapton Orient, Sunday League, a colony of artists, technology, computing and most regrettably breakfast, TV and Big Brother, 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 Big Brother. The Lee, Hope and Anchor. River Lee meandering from Hertfordshire. The bright light River Lee meets the dark Thameses and Limehouse. Dark meets light. Day meets night. Limehouse, old Chinatown, 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 Chinatown. Opium wars, oppression. Alicia, daughter of the melancholic moon. Alicia's subliminal land of myth and memory, magic. Palaces, pig swinging, and crack houses. A topographical hopscotch of extremes of wealth and poverty, social tension of brochette society, bourgeois invaders, social tension, gentrification, riots, exorbitant rent and elitism. All the river spirits rise for refugee child. Beneath, full moon, slippery silver, shining, rippling, dark river of delight. Flow. Sweetly flow. Flow gently, sweetly. Melancholic masquerade. Humanity walking in the miasmic streets, noctambulous boo-boo-boo-boo-boo-boo-boo-boo-boo-boo-boo. Bubonic plague victims swollen blacker eyes out of the shallow slumbers and spittlefields. Night-shading necrosis meets with supercilious narcissus. Alicia, daughter of Africa, India and China. Alicia of the multiple tongues, multiple swirling words, swirling languages. Come, winged Morphiosa, daughter of Hypnos, daughter of dreams, daughter of Pasithea, daughter of hallucinations. Alicia Morphiosa of the marshes. Sleeps in caves full of poppy seeds. Alicia dances in dreams, all dreams swirling around. Buried Atlantis, Pompeii, Xanadu, in caverns, measureless to man, Kali dances, Kali dances, Kali dances, Kali dances. Ganges, sacred river of dreams, Yang goddess and Yellow River Yangtze, Fengdu ghost city, there's Roselle the green Pegasusa, Alicia Morphiosa, hail great swimmer of piranha of the sky, condor of the moon, golden illuminations of the horse-drawn sun, Mount Fuji, Mount Andes, McGillicuddy Reeks, Pachamama of the rainforests and rivers Nile, Niami, Zambezi, Yangtze, Ganges, Amazonas, Lu, Lee, dark Thameses, sweet Thameses, dark Thameses, sweet Thameses, dark Thameses. Alicia is planting saplings, seed, wildflowers. The voice of Alicia is heard in myriad magical tongues, whispering, whispering, many languages, whispering in the currents of the flowing river. All languages, one river. Flow, sweetly, sacred river, flow. The forests start to grow. Flow, sweet Themis, flow. The song of the leeward ho, leeward ho, leeward ho. River of moonlight, river of delight, ecstatic river of night. Leeward ho, leeward ho, leeward ho. We're going to have a 10-15-minute break so that you can catch your breath after that.
And please welcome Abdul Aziz Nasser. And we're looking forward to hearing your poems. Thank you.
Yeah, this one is called In the Midnight. I did it when I was homeless. In the midnight recess, in an enclave of mental mess, I chisel the stiffness of stone silence, efforting to sculpture a sense of fenced threat of life betwixt infinite roof of killing heaven and a regenerative volatile terrain when the palms of slumber furtively disabled awareness of pious and heaven. When the willing will of time grants a breather, blankly I surf in sterile awareness. Where reason fails to justify, passion fails to gratify, reticence fails to pacify, in that I blankly implore on a rugged mat of me fleeting being in an intrinsic human altar, there and without, searching for celestial streak, a faint hint, or a single leak of this wondrous existence. Who laid its maiden brick? I desperately seek to irrigate my spiritual drought in the midnight recess under the roof of mysterious sky. Illegible remain the luminous and dusky manifestation, and utterly vague, the mind that purposed the recurrence of palaver and plague, dazzled by unforeseen cuddle of the crow, aghast of the tender petals that tore in the midnight hour, in solemn solitude, I mutely cower, where darkness scorns the eye, conceived majesty of the existence dwarfs eye, the night becomes a wound that rebuffs sight and sigh. Yonder I glimpse a silhouette of neem boughs, immersed in unchoreographed dances of oaths and woes, of mother's grief engraved in brows. Yonder in the congenital moray that ceased to glow as if the generational offering downed hollow. Thank you very much.
That was such a strong poem. I was waiting for more, but thank you. Thank you. If you want to read another one, yeah.
Okay, I'll read this one. It is called Water to Water. When someone dies on the ground, we call dust to dust. But there are a lot of people who die in the sea, crossing from Africa to Europe. So I call it water to water. So water to water. Down went the young folks with their boat. Hold the spirit high and keep the dreams afloat. Dilapidated sails sank, so did the mast. Anonymous bubble assembled and burst on the kaleidoscopic oceanic facade, bubbles evincing eulogistic recital fast. Alas, that which prompted the folk to opt for a deadly deep, wasn't it deeper enough to justify a calamitous leap? Traveled via perilous straits of the dark and dim, might have caught a glimpse of the Italian peninsula, where for long substituted the sword for spatula. For a moment they did cogitate being unchained from the oddest fate, momentary hint of liberty aglow, could have doubted their eyes of that which they saw. Now swallowed by the thirst sea, myriad inhumed under its huge flow, many bodies jettisoned on the alien shore, many others crushed by the prowling jaw, yet aloof was the master of aversion and gore, aloof as if the saline sea that diluted tears all lost between the tidal mats ebb and flow, the sea claimed both the pious and the prayer, invaded the lungs, evacuated the air, but of the sail of their soul need neither the sea nor the wind to steer, left the sea with the burden of its blues, left the despot to swim in his booze, home decreed tyranny and torment. Safe heaven admitted them much as lifeless content. Thus the folks continue to relive, meandering via every chasm and cliff, where the water was a chasm and bridge, where the water did a watery siege. Alas now, water to water, lament the curtailed youth, wide open eyes blankest as the truth. Genesis as harsh as the finale, akin to the ordeal of the Mara River venture, via the bridging crocodile to green pasture. Thus continues the epic run from the shadows that forbade the moon and the sun, run via the scorched desert and river and sand into the wasteland mirage and even beyond. Beggingly bargain base and bends somewhere in the blistering affray, lost the actual purpose of the journey. Dispose of the confused compass, devoid of letters and mass, and yet there is more crafted impasse, ahead to steer the generational wrath, to be lodged in a shackle of dusty Bedouin, there they do vend dignity and violate sacred skin. Yesterday, 100,000 or more souls died for them to stand dignified and tall. Now organs extorted before the departure of soul, to resurrect exhumed carcass of a hedonist defected by tobacco and alcohol. Their remains dumped for elements and vultures, no mercy cultivated from the Sinai butcher. Is there any euphemism capable of conveying the tragedy to the worried mother? Thank you very much.
Thank you also for that immensely strong poem. Thank you. There's a chapbook upstairs in Spanish and English, and as the poet who wrote that chapbook is here, she's going to read a poem from it, but I can't see her. Monza Gallego Reyes.
Well, this is a kind of improvisation. This wasn't prepared at all. And I'm going to read a poem that is, in fact, a dream, and it's an interpreted dream. I'm going to read it in Spanish, and Gracie Noel is going to read it in English. Thank you. And it's part of the At the End of Time. Sueño interpretado. Estoy en la manteca de una nube, invitada en la mente de un cuadro muy cerca de la espera. Podría ser Japón, pero el cuadro es negro. Quieren que les cocine una flor con el montón de un hermano que apareció muerto en el fuego. Es un hermano muy grande que podría ser una teta marina, pero si su silueta es como la de un pasado, herbívoro o marino, con una antena muy larga y una cresta pequeña. En la manteca dicen que se acerca un final, cuya flecha coincide con la del momento cuando estemos comiendo la flor. Entre la manada de la manteca están mis entrañas. Como ya tienen experiencia con estos trastos, parece que están preparados para sobrevivirlo. Entro en la mente cuando una religión muy oscura se está acercando desde la espera. Por el futuro se ve todo. Al pasar por el fuego he visto la larga escalera del hermano, negra, sin restos del montón. La vaca del cuadro tiene el montón desmenuzado en un gran corazón. Le digo que no he comprado las algas, pues con tanto montón ya tendrá nariz de sobra. También les cuento lo del final, pero el jamón dice que no será para tanto. Las lágrimas solo subirán unas pocas piernas. Les digo que creo que no será así. Estoy realmente asustada y necesito ir al orinal a hacer ventura. La manada dice que la cortina se elevará igual que las caricias y yo veo un reflejo en el que eso sucede, donde está el montón desmenuzado y la escalera del hermano apilados en una basura. Las oscuras manos de la religión que casi toca la espera están ya sobre nosotros y veo las grandes caricias acercarse como si fueran a romperse contra la visión del futuro.
Dream interpreted. I am in the butter of a cloud, invited in the mind of a painting, very close to the waiting. It could be Japan, but the painting is black. They want me to cook a flower for them with the pile of a brother who was found dead in the fire. It is a very big brother. It could be a marine tint, but its silhouette is like that of the past, herbivorous or marine, with a very long antenna and a small crest. In the butter they say that an end is approaching whose arrow coincides with that of the moment when we are eating the flower. Among the herd of the butter are my entrails. As they already have experience with this junk, it seems that they are prepared to survive it. I enter the mind when a very dark religion is approaching from the waiting. From the future, everything is seen. Going through the fire. I've seen the brother's long staircase, black, with no remnants of the pile. The cow in the picture has the crumbled heap in a big heart. I tell them that I have not bought the Aude, because with so much heap, she will have enough nose to spare. I tell them also about the end, but the ham says that it will not be so, not so bad. The tears will only rise a few legs. I respond that I think it won't be like that. I'm really scared. And I need to go to the potty to make destiny. The herd says that the curtain will rise like caresses. And I see a reflection in what happens, where the crumbled heap and the brother's ladder are piled in trash. The dark hands of the religion that almost touch the weight are already upon us. And I see the great caresses approach, as if they were going to break against the vision of the future.
Thank you. We're going to read two poems, one by Nazım Hikmet in Turkish and one by Abdullah Goran in Sorani Kurdish.
Thank you. Su başında durmuşuz. Çınarla ben. Suda suretimiz çıkıyor. Çınarla benim. Suyun şafkı vuruyor bize. Çınarla bana. Su başında durmuşuz. Çınarla ben. Bir de kedi. Suda suretimiz çıkıyor. Çınarla benim. Bir de kedinin. Suyun şafkı vuruyoruz bize. Çınarla bana. Bir de kediye. Su başında durmuşuz. Çınar, ben, kedi, bir de güneş. Suda suretimiz çıkıyor. Çınar, benim, kedinin, bir de güneşin. Suyun şafkı vuruyor bize. Çınar bana, kediye, bir de güneş. Su başında durmuşuz. Çınar, ben, kedi, güneş, bir de ömrümüz. Suda suretimiz çıkıyor. Çınar, benim, kedinin, güneş, bir de ömrümüz, bir de ömrümüz. Suda suretimiz çıkıyor. Çınar, benim, kedinin, güneş, bir de ömrümüzün. Suyun şafkı vuruyor bize. Çınar, bana, kediye, güneş, bir de ömrümüze, ömrümüze, ömrümüze. Su başında durmuşuz. Önce kedi gidecek. Kaybolacak suda sureti. Sonra ben gideceğim. Kaybolacak suda süretim. Sonra çınar gidecek. Kaybolacak suda süreti. Sonra su gidecek. Güneş kalacak. Sonra o da gidecek. Su başında durmuşuz. Su serin. Çınar ulu. Ben şiir yazıyorum. Kedi uyukluyor. Güneş sıcak. Çok şükür yaşıyoruz. Suyun şafkı vuruyor bize. Çınara bana, kediye, güneşe, bir de ömrümüze, bir de ömrümüze.
Wonderful to hear Nazım Hikmet read in Turkish in Hackney. Thank you. This translation is by a very dear friend, Richard McCain. Fable of Fables. We are by the waterside, the plane tree and I. Our reflections are thrown on the water, the plane trees and mine. The sparkle of the water hits us, the plane tree and me. We are by the waterside, the plane tree, I and the cat. Our reflections are thrown on the water, the plane trees, mine and the cat's. The sparkle of the water hits us, the plane tree, me and the cat. We are by the waterside, the plane tree, I, the cat and the sun. Our reflections are thrown on the water, the plane trees, mine, the cats, the suns. The sparkle of the water hits us, the plane tree, me, the cat, and the sun. We are by the waterside, the plane tree, I, the cat, the sun, and our life. Our reflections are thrown on the water, the plane trees, mine, the cats, the suns, our lives. The sparkle of the water hits us, the plane tree, me, the cat, the sun, our life. We are by the waterside. First the cat will go, its reflection will be lost on the water. Then I will go, my reflection will be lost on the water. Then the plane tree will go, its reflection will be lost on the water. Then the water will go. The sun will remain. Then it will go too. We are by the waterside, the plane tree, I, the cat, the sun, and our life. The water is cool, the plane tree is huge, I am writing a poem, the cat is dozing, the sun is warm, it is good to be alive. The sparkle of the water hits us, the plane tree, me, the cat, the sun, our life. And now... And now Abdullah Goran.
Pais بوكي برجزرد من ما تتوزيز هردو هاو درد من فرمسكم تبارانت من هناسم تباي ساردت من خم تهوري قريانت دويناي دادم داد هرگيز بايز payız, 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 payız. شانو ملتروت من ما تزیز هر دکمان جوت هر چنده گلسیز ابه بگرین آلتونی در ارجه بگرین پولی باردار افره بگرین 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 چاو من نسرین هرگز 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 پاییز پاییز پاییز.
I'm not sure I can manage that. This poem is called Autumn. And actually, it just struck me that Abdullah Gurran lived the same span of life as Nazim Hikmet, who we just read before, first half of the 20th century. Autumn, blonde bride, I'm sad, you gloomy, both sharing one ailment. I have tears, you rain. I have breath and you cold winds. I have sorrows, you weeping clouds. It will not end, my crying and yours. Never, never, O autumn. Autumn, décolleté bride, you are sad and I gloomy. We make a good couple. We should cry whenever a flower withers, whenever golden leaves fall, whenever a bird flock migrates. We should cry and cry, never letting our eyes dry. Never, never, ever autumn, oh autumn. Thank you.
I'm going to sing for you two Kurdish folk songs. One of them is about a Roman soldier who wanted to get married to a Kurdish girl, and the family refused because he was an invader in that area. And during that time, Kurdistan was neighboring the Greece, because Turkey didn't exist in those times. I mean, it says that when St. Paul went to the Greece, he went through Kurdistan. And so this soldier wanted to fell in love with this girl, and she fell in love with him, but the family didn't want this marriage to happen. But before this, I'm going to sing a Kurdish traditional song. It's called Hel Yaman. It's describing human being in general, but like we are all of us refugees in here, temporarily here, and we go somewhere else. And we are like fish who are going through, going round and around, poisoned fish in a ocean, going around and around and don't know about the destination. Okay, I might ask you to help me with the humming, but later on. Thanks a lot. Elemain, dehelemain, 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 deheleman. The poor مقري سنئي مقوسيان دمس قالوا بدرهمان آخ يمان يمان آي لي هوي هوي هوم Would it be possible to say and if it's possible, if you continue, I'll go to another stage. Eliamayan, Babu Yamayan, Dayaman, Eliaman, the Heliaman, there was a Kirimay, Mosikeki, Gesh, Havetimay, Benedvan Bahraun. There was a Kirimay, a Piramerekim, Hafte Salih, a Dibdidan, Devemedan, Ach, Yaman, Yaman, ay le hoy ho 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 قمريك واسرق ميمة بلاد اللال واسرق ميمة قمريك واسرق ميمة بلاد اللال واسرق ميمة خلام شافن رش بالك عشقك چكا قنديمة خلام شافن رش بالك عشقك چكا قنديمة de yar 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 de yar 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 de yar 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 de yar yar de yar 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 de yar yar bete sabra minna de yar 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 de yar 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 de yar 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 de yar yar de yar 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 de yar yar bete sabra minna قمريك سيفا تجارة بلي دلال سيفا تجارة قمريك سيفا تجارة بلي دلال سيفا تجارة خلام جافن رش بالك عشقي كدي نيارة خلام جافن رش بالك كتي دستي نيارة de yar 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 de yar 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 de yar 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 de yar yar de yar 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 de yar yar bete sabra minna de yar 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 de yar 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 de yar 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 de yar yar de yar 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 de yar yar bete صبرا من نائم آي آي آخ Thank you.
thank you so much, everyone, for coming tonight. Thank you to everyone who performed. That was absolutely amazing. Please do take one of the poetry books with you away if you haven't already. Go see the exhibition, and thank you, everyone. Sorry, and Graham, 100 Years Gallery for having us. So.